Now, I'm not one to gossip, but I will serve you the tea. You know what time it is? Welcome to Chronicle Speaks. So when it comes to Mr. Sean P. Diddy Combs, the story continues to twist, turn, and take a new life, even behind bars. Recently, fans noticed something interesting. Diddy's federal release date has quietly been pushed back. Lean back. Originally, the Bureau of Prisons listed his projected release date for May 8th, 2028, but now it has been pushed back nearly a month to June 4th, 2028. Diddy really walked into Fort Dix, that's D-I-X, like...
Take that.
And the BOP is like, no, Ninja, you take that. Now, while the BOP hasn't publicly confirmed the exact reason for the change, several reports suggest the shift likely relates to the alleged rule violation inside of Fort Dix, which is the low-security federal prison where Diddy is currently serving his 50-month sentence, and the exact prison that Diddy wanted to go to. Now, different media outlets are claiming that Diddy may have consumed a homemade prison brew shortly after arriving and may have been involved in an unauthorized three-way phone call, both of which can cause a loss of good conduct time. Now, in the federal prison system, every inmate earns and loses time based on behavior, and even one infraction can bump a release date back. Diddy's team, however, denies the allegations entirely, saying he remained sober, compliant, and the phone call in question was related to legit communication, which should have been protected because he was speaking to his attorney. We are going to get into the Diddy of it all, but before we do, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any news regarding this story and so much more. Now let's get back into it. Now, I'm sure many of you are wondering, why does this new release date even matter? Well, it affects more than just how long he sits behind bars. It could also impact his eligibility for programs like RDAP, which is the Residential Drug Abuse Program, which can shave up to a year off a federal prison sentence for qualified inmates. Now, any disciplinary issues can push a person down the waiting list or delay their participation. Now, the judge in Diddy's case even recommended the RDAP program, but participation is controlled by the Bureau of Prisons, not just the court. So while this date change may seem minor, it signals how every move inside the facility counts and how quickly things can shift for an inmate if the BOP adjusts their behavior record. Beyond the programs, this delay also affects any timeline Diddy had for re-entering the industry or even rebuilding his brand. Now, with several civil suits still active and his criminal appeal pending, the extra months add another wrinkle in an already complicated legal landscape. Now, Diddy is staying true to this bad boys for life persona. Now, different media outlets are claiming that his very first week at Fort Dix, he had consumed some prison-made alcohol. Now, this is not the stereotype of toilet wine, but a simple homemade brew made from things that inmates can easily get their hands on, like fruit, sugar, and soda left to ferment. Now, in federal prisons, even this mild form of alcohol is considered contraband, and being caught with it or consuming it is very serious. It can cost an inmate good conduct credit, and the loss of credit directly affects release dates, which is why many believe this push from May 8th to June 4th wasn't random. It lines up with the kind of penalty the BOP issues for alcohol-related infractions. So Diddy's team says the rumors claiming Mr. Combs was caught with alcohol are completely false. His only focus is becoming the best version of himself and returning to his family. Diddy's family spokesperson, Judah Engelmeyer, told TMZ Mr. Combs is in his first week at Fort Dix and is focused on adjusting, working on himself, and doing better each day. As with any high-profile individual in a new environment, there will be many rumors and exaggerated stories throughout his time there. Most of them untrue. We ask that people give him the benefit of the doubt, the privacy to focus on his personal growth with grace and purpose.
I'm gonna tell you just like this. I'm drunk. Yeah, I've been drinking, but I wasn't driving.
But wait, this is the king of can't stop, won't stop, so you know there's more. Reports also surfaced about an incident involving a three-way phone call that Diddy allegedly made during his first few days at Fort Dix, and this situation is just as serious as the homemade alcohol allegation. Now, according to documents that were obtained by CBS News, Diddy was on a call with a woman discussing visitation and money when she asked if she could add another person on the phone call described as the digital person. Diddy reportedly agreed, and moments later, a third unidentified man was added to the line. Now, in the federal prison system, three-way phone calls are strictly prohibited because they can be used to hide communications, schemes, or coordinate things the prison can't monitor. Staff flagged the call immediately, and they recommended sanctions including up to 90 days without phone privileges and 90 days without commissary. Now, for an inmate, especially one trying to enter programs like RDAP, that's a major behavioral strike. Diddy's team strongly denies any wrongdoing, saying the call was part of an attorney-initiated legal conversation covered under attorney-client privilege, and that Diddy wasn't given any orientation handbook detailing these rules. Still, the timing of the call and the alcohol allegations line up with the recent pushback of his release date, and it paints a picture of Diddy's first week inside being far more chaotic than anyone expected. So, in the words of Mr. Can't Stop, Won't Stop, Diddy filed an appeal through the Second Circuit Court of Appeals, and he's moving rather fast. According to the appeal documents, Diddy's legal team, led by Alexandra Shapiro, we already know she's a beast when it comes to the appeal process, and that's the reason why they chose her to come to his team early on. She filed a motion asking the court to speed up the entire appeal process. They're not trying to drag this thing out. They're pushing to have this opening appeal brief filed by December 23rd, 2025. The government's response is then due by February 20th, 2026, and then Diddy's response is due by March 13th, 2026, and the oral arguments would be held in April 2026. And the most surprising part is that the government did not oppose it, which is rare in a high-profile case like this. In fact, the court approved the request, meaning Diddy's appeal is officially on an expedited schedule. His team argues that because he's already served about 14 months of his 50-month sentence, that the appeal needs to move quickly in the event that the court overturns either his conviction or his lengthy sentence. They point out that with RDAP and the First Step Act credits, possibly reducing his time, he could serve a lot less, and if the appeal runs too slow, he might finish his sentence before the court ever rules. So in simple terms, Diddy is fighting to get the appeal heard before the clock runs out. He wants the judge to review everything, how the trial was handled, how the evidence was used, and whether the 50-month sentence was fair under the law. Now, this expedited schedule shows his legal team believes there are real issues worth challenging, and they want a chance to get him out sooner if the appeals court agrees. Diddy's possible misbehavior can make the court see him as reckless or unremorseful, which weakens arguments for leniency or early release. In short, one bad move inside can undo months of legal work on the outside and give prosecutors the ammunition they need to argue that his sentence should stand. What I need to do is hear from you. What do you think about everything going on in the world of Diddy? Leave a comment, and you know how we do. We'll talk about it down below. Talk to you guys later. Bye. As always, thanks for watching, but before you go, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit that like button, and hit that bell so you don't miss out on any of my new episodes.